Hi everybody, my name is Lisa. This is my corner where we talk about art, art related, art adjacent things, products, ideas, inspirations. If that's what you're into, you're in the right place. So today, a couple of things on the agenda. First off, I survived COVID. I also survived the day the world burned, which was here in the UK. It was Tuesday was the day I nearly lost the will to live, but we got through it, back out the other side. We're back into more comfortable. Listen, I'm a bit obsessed meteorologically. Yeah, I'm obsessed. But the light today has returned to that flat, pewter coloured sky, and there's like a glare off the sun, and I can't see things properly. It's very weird. It's very, very weird. So we've survived all that. We're surviving, we're thriving. Yeah, we're pushing through in the everyday. I have products to talk about. There's going to be a section coming up doing all the swatches, but I wanted to introduce you to some of the things that I'm going to be talking about a little further along. Top of my shame list. Now, did we discuss low buy, no buy? Yes, we did, but we're going to ignore that. Well, we can't. And listen, I'll qualify it in a minute. Palomino Blackwing pencils. Yeah, I don't know where they're made, don't know who they're by. Up until recently, I'd never heard tell of such a thing, but the internet made me buy them. I'm big enough, I can admit that. They're beautiful. So stay tuned for swatches and discussions of these beauties. And yes, I will be buying again, but there's always a but. This is the Kitsa-boshi pencil, plus refills, plus a groovy, clever little sharpener that's so dinky. So talking about them, we're going to talk about Schminke. Here's a story. Do you want to hear a story about Schminke? My husband was in Tenerife. Okay, this ties into something else. Yes, there is a reason. I knew there was a reason. They're here. Schminke. I have been absolutely obsessed to try and get a hold of these. To what end? To why? I went to Cass Arts in Hampstead. I'm going to put up, if I haven't erased it or if I can find it, I'm going to put up the little bit of live footage in the field that I took on the day we went to Hampstead to go to Cass Arts. Needless to say, I didn't bother checking whether they had Schminke or not. I was kind of, that was one reason for going, but if it was there, it was there. No loss. They didn't have them. Cass Arts turned out to be not the art superstore I was hoping for or expecting. Apart from anything else, one of the things that struck me, and I don't know if I'm going to have to go through it and see if I've recorded it. It's in an odd location. I mean, it being Hampstead, every square inch of real estate down there has been used. But it's over a Yo Sushi restaurant, so it's in an odd spot. And accessibility, it's not brilliant accessibility. There's some stairs. Listen, it's not Mount Everest. They're not the worst stairs in the world, but they're stairs. So there's no wheelchair access. So if you've got a pram, you're going to have to hike your baby, leave the pram down in the foyer, hike the baby up the stairs with you. So there's that. I've got fibromyalgia, and I wasn't having a great day. So when I saw the steps, I was like, But once I got in, it's nice, it's modern, it's open. But the range of products isn't what I'd hoped for. I don't know what I was expecting, but it seemed to be the same old faces. Like, yes, there were Sennelier oil pastels, and there was Faber-Castell, and there was lots of canvases, Winsor & Newton oils, Daniel Smith. I think Cass Art do their own brand as well. There was a sale on, but even at that, it wasn't. I got this as well. This was like a fiver. It's This was in June actually, yeah. It's not cartridge paper, it just feels like newsprint. It's got quite a rough texture. That was a fiver. I got an acrylic paint. I really wasn't inspired, but I'm beginning to become a bit conscious that in London there isn't really, you're going to have to travel if you want to find a really decent art shop, the likes that I took for granted in Texas. There's one really good one in Canterbury that I visited, but I think that's because there is a fine art course in the university nearby. But I've been down to Soho, and there's the London Graphic Centre I think I went into, and listen, if you know somewhere in London that's like an Aladdin's cave of stuff, let me know. Anyway, back to this. My husband was in Tenerife. He was having a weekend with his brother. He's wandering around Los Cristianos, came upon this art shop. He rings me up. He went, wow. And I was like, yes. I had a look at it online. Stuffed to the rafters with stuff. Loads of brands I'd never heard of. And Schminke. So he got me 3 of the special edition. The G is the special edition. They do the different granulating effects. Prior to which I bought this, the granulation medium from Winsor & Newton. This was £8.50 on Amazon. And it does a nice job. It does a good job. These do something special. Anyway, stay for the swatching and a little bit of a chit chat about them, but I'm loving them. There's those. What else? Yeah, production slowed. I was really, really unproductive the last few weeks because of not feeling well. Not feeling well, and then all this weather hit the last. Listen, if anybody out there ever wonders what a hot flush feels like, about now, I'll give you kind of a good working idea of how it feels like. Yeah, unpleasant. Sliding around in your own sweat. Definite memories of Houston, but without the AC. And it also reminded me about in Houston how limiting the heat made life, because you just didn't fancy doing anything because everything was just a furnace. But it was from like 8 March through to like November with some hurricanes thrown in the middle. Okay, so stay for the swatching, for the pencils, for all the rest of it, and speak to you in a minute. Hello, we're starting with pencils in this demonstration bit of the video. The first one is the one, well, they're all ones that the internet made me buy because I would never have heard of them otherwise, but the first one out of the trap is this. It's the Kitsa-boshi mechanical pencil. It's a 2B lead and it's a 2mm lead. The body of it, it's not plastic. I don't know if that's bamboo because I can't read any of the descriptions about it, and I'll find out if the body of it is bamboo. It doesn't feel synthetic, but anyway, the body of the barrel, it to me, now listen, this is a normal sort of a Faber-Castell thingamajiggy. This barrel feels bigger than sort of your standard pencil body. The weight of it is nice. I find my hands don't tire as quickly using this. It's very, very nice to use. These are some swatches. So it goes from, so this is a 2B, so it's kind of nothing spectacular, but I find it easy to do. I'm finding it easier to do really light sort of hatching like that, and then you get it quite dark. And it doesn't create a glossy, you know, like, so this is the Mars Statler 6B, and when I go really heavy on it, it's nice and dark, but there's like a glossy sheen left after it. The other thing, because all Japanese mechanical pencils are so, all Japanese products are quite innovative, but this is, I lost the lid of it. It's a little sharpener to just, see, can you see that? I don't know if it's, there's a little sharpener in there. I'm not doing a very good job of this. My hands aren't in great shape today. Look, it just sharpens the lead at the tip. So you don't have to, so to me, I have found it wonderful because I can have the most finest point constantly on my lead tip. There you go, look. And it's quite a sturdy, it's a sturdy lead, it doesn't break. Can you see that? So just look, it's very satisfying, very nice. They're not cheap. This was £8.99, this set together. These are the replacement leads. A little bit of a grand opening moment. Again, 2 Bs. Come on. Come on. Right. So this is like cardboard, and there are 5 extra leads in this. It's just all so aesthetically pretty. Not pretty, but satisfying, utilitarian. This feeling of this is all you're going to need. And it does sort of feel that way, that this is all you're going to need. Let me undo the mechanics for you. So, if you're curious, this bit here, this metallic bit, unscrews. The leads obviously go up in there. Now to change the leads, this bit, stopper at the top, push it down, pull it forwards, and then there's like a little, this little bit here moves, and then you've released the lead. Pop it back in, take your finger off, she's gone, ready to go. So I've been enjoying it a lot. It erases beautifully. Yeah. Do you know what it is? It isn't cheap. Obviously, it comes direct from Japan. But I've been reaching for it a lot. I've been getting a lot of use out of it. So that's on my definitely recommend list. Okay. Next is something that I've been really working hard to not really telling myself you don't need that, but look, these beauties. It's the Palomino Blackwing pencil, and I've watched, so it's been, I don't know whether it's been chasing me around the internet or if it is just genuinely that popular. I found a deal on Amazon where there was the 3 from the different, so this is the pearl, the 602 and the matte. I got the 3 of them for £20, which makes, I think, basically each pencil £7. The full boxes are something like 30 and there's 12. And I'm honestly not got, listen, I wasn't going to lay out £30 for pencils I wasn't sure about. So here we go. I spent 20, and people, yeah, the hype is real. It's good. They're good. So look here. This is the Blackwing matte, which is this one, versus the Mars Lumograph 6B. Ow! This chap here. So this is the Mars Lumograph. Again, can you see that shiny? I don't know if you can catch it on here, but the Blackwing matte doesn't do it. it is a truly black matte pencil. It's soft, it's buttery, but one thing I noticed as well, you see this 6B, the graphite in here has gotten extremely thick. Now I don't know if that's standard with, the tip on it is quite unwieldy. However, the Blackwing, very, very fine tip. There's cedar. I think that accounts for the prohibitive price. That's the 602 swatched, and that's the pearl, and that's the matte. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the difference is in terms of opacity or depth. I couldn't see any massive differences between the three of them. So there's that itch scratched. I know that there's nothing to worry about. The rubbers, they rub out really beautifully, really lovely. Not much of rubber on it because I'm probably I rub excessively perhaps. Look. Very nice, very good. Is it worth 20 quid? Yeah, I think so. I think there's lots of techniques you can use. It's the darkness that you can achieve with it. The sheer depth of the blackness that you can achieve with it without getting that patina. I'd call it a glossy patina that then makes it impossible to use anything over. They work really, really well with the polychromos or any of the artist pencils. Look. So, look at that. No, not the same. You can register it here on this, and it's not the same with the Mars Statler. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. Naturally, I didn't tell anybody apart from you guys that I've spent £20 on 3 pencils because that's my lookout, isn't it? I'm enjoying them very much. You have to sharpen them quite frequently. They're actually, I wouldn't say fragile, but they can break quite quickly. Yes, I love them. I'm in love. And maybe I will buy a full box of them for myself, and then that's a treat for the year, and I won't be buying any other pencils because I have this guy as well, which is the 2B, which is lighter. So current status, pencil status is yes, very happy. Thanks for asking. Surprise of the week. Surprise find. This is a £2 fountain pen from Flying Tiger of Copenhagen. You know, that high street shop that you go into and buy bits and pieces, come out and go, why did I buy that? This is lovely. This is really, listen, it's not the sturdiest of things because it's as light as a feather. But let me show you. It moves so smoothly. My hands are covered in pencil. It moves so smoothly. It's lovely. It's so light. I love the short body on it. It makes it really nice to handle. Very maneuverable. So if you're in Tiger, pick one up. It's lovely, look. For pen and ink. Do you know what my only question is now? Which it's only occurred to me now. I wonder, does this, hang on. Let's see if it works with, oh look. Yeah, no, I don't think it particularly works with water. Well, hello. Joe, that's not half bad. £2. There's like a pinky redness to it, to that. But you know what? Pop that in your purse, in your bag, with a pad of paper. you're ready to go. Actually, I really like that. And you know what? While we're on the topic, let's see. I'm going to use a bit of a damp brush on the edge of this. Ooh. Now let's see what the Mars Lumograph does. Not much. Not much. Maybe if I use different paper it might be better, but yeah, it's always worth trying, isn't it? So whilst I was in Tiger as well, for the sake of asking, I've picked up the Aquarelle water block just to see if it was anything worth talking about. Because you know what? Sometimes, we all know it, sometimes you can pick something up out of the most obscure places and you find a gem. So this is 20 sheets, 300 grams. I'm presuming it's not acid free. No. Paper from responsible sources, so that's good. Okay, I have my little cotton watercolour packet here, and I'm going to actually, do you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use my Schminke Special Edition Hordam Aquarelle granulating watercolours. I'm going to start with this one, so you can, I haven't used them yet on this paper, so okay, so I think this is the so I have 3 of the granulating ones: Galaxy Violet, Sea Green and Galaxy Rose, Galaxy Pink. Right, so I'm just going to go on to dry paper here. Oh, isn't that pretty? That's pretty. I'm going to go in really heavy now. One of the things that I've heard about these guys is that the effect of the amount of granulation can very often be very much influenced by the tone, the texture of the paper that you're using. This is the black, Glacier Black, Special Edition. Now I have swatched this. I've swatched these on other paper. This is the Glacier Black, the Galaxy Violet and the Deep Sea Green. These are on, you know, not expensive watercolour paper either. The Deep Sea Green does very interesting things. The Galaxy Black, she just smeared it like an idiot. Look. The Galaxy Black, I'm waiting to be wowed by. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so let's try. This isn't a soft brush I'm using either, it's quite stiff. Okay, this is the Deep Sea Green. This does incredible things. Truly remarkable, the pigmentation, the metallic effect it leaves behind. There's the postman. Like you care. And yet you can get quite deep. So with these, the thing is to leave them to dry. Now, the other colours I have are these two. These aren't special edition. This is olive, Shire Olive and Desert Yellow. So here's the Desert Yellow. It's quite transparent. there isn't a lot of pigment in it. But isn't that the case with all sort of yellows and greens, that you're not going to get the same impact? So it's like an ochre, but it's not very zingy. You know, it's not, here comes the Shire Green, Shire Olive. Somebody, a Tolkien fan. Yeah, it's not blowing my socks off. It's nice. It's very subtle. It is nice if you're doing, because I'm not very nuanced, I think. There we go. Start to give me a bit of something, something. Right, that's them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought I had another one. Glacier Black. Ah, the pink. This is a special edition. Galaxy Pink. Aubergine. There you go. That's them. I'll leave them to dry for a minute and we'll come back and have a look and see what's occurred. Now, sketchbooks. Where are we with them? See if I can zoom out. Yeah, sketchbooks. I've actually finished this. I think there might be one page left to do. But yeah, I got this. I didn't put the date on it. I think it was February or something. But I finished it and I'm so pleased with myself. I really am. And you know what? I may have a rethink on the paper because I'll show you what I've bought instead. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it and I've tried not to be too precious, and I've just started putting things in, you know, without trying to feel freer. This was me testing out the thingies, and I bought these oil pastels. They're the Pentel Arts. They're £10. I actually swore down, no lie, I wasn't going to buy these ever again. And I saw somebody using them, Per Fleur, something. I'll put the link to her videos. And she just gave me a complete about face. So I've been doing this sort of a thing, not worrying too much. And this. And playing around with the borders, leaving different amounts of space on either side of it or down the edges, just to create a different sort of interest in it. More messing about. See, this page, this double sprayed is good, but then at the back, hang on, come on, yeah, this. And I did this as well. These are different techniques of blending with linseed oil and then just messing around with the colours, just vibrancy. They're so colourful. They just jump up and punch in the face. So that's the Etch a Sketch. My initial feelings on this weren't positive because it felt really heavy going. So when I went to look for the new sizes, I love this size, it's fantastic. This is the Tumurata 3.5 by 5.5, 25% cotton, acid-free, cold press, 300 grams. I don't like it. I don't like it. I've done this so far, and that's the start of something else. It's sort of, there's something about the surface it doesn't have the same, this is 100% cotton. This handles water so beautifully, and it just, yeah, I'll finish this. Maybe, you know what, maybe because it's just about customizing to something different, that this feels odd underhand, under the pencils, everything grips so beautifully on this. Gouache, everything is like sliding around, same for the pencils. They feel like they're sliding around on it, and I can't get a proper grip. Oh look, here is a big, this is for discussion when, so let me just jump in here and explain what that was all about. That little sketch I showed you. Now listen, and this, okay. Now I had this genius idea that I wanted to use tempera, artist tempera. And this also was the reason why I went to Cassar. And it's also a reason to check what's on a company's website before you go and schlep all the way to Hampstead. So yeah, I bought what I thought were artist tempera and did this, you know, like a ready-made tempera, but they're not. They're basic. These, the ones that I bought, listen, the price should have told me there was a problem. There were £8, little tubes of them from Amazon. Because I just wanted to have a go, see what the deal was, because I had read that artist tempera gave a similar effect to oil paints, the vibrancy, the glossiness. Yeah, no, that wasn't the situation here at all. Flat, chalky, nah, couldn't get what I wanted out of them. Only to realise that the word tempera also refers to like literally poster paints for kids, the kind of thing that you would use with children in school. Poster paints, chalky, flat, no vibrancy. Now I just thought, well, you know what I'm going to do, I'll make my own, because the artist grade tempera were like £30 for a starter kit from Statler, and I thought, no, there must be a better way. So obviously tempera is a very, very, very old technique, and it's egg yolks mixed with a pigment. So the egg yolk is the binder, and you make an emulsion, and it's a whole thing. And I've watched some YouTube videos. This obviously makes me an instant genius expert on the subject. But I thought what you need are pigments, artist grade pigments, or any kind of pigments. This is all still new to me. So I looked online and I didn't know what I was looking at. So I thought, you know, maybe Cass will have some. No, they didn't. So I'm going to have to keep searching, and I'm dying to have a go. It's a whole new set of skills, so it's going to be a learning curve, but I think it'd be exciting. And you paint on wood. It's a technique that was very much pre-Renaissance, because I think Renaissance was when oil paints were created, and tempera went out of fashion. But you see all those beautiful, what do you call them, altarpieces, particularly Dutch sacred art triptychs, altarpieces. I'll put a picture of one up here because there's an example of it in my art book. Yeah, and all that punch, all that colour is from the pigments that they used. And obviously it was like lapis, as you know, turquoise, things like that, the reds from oxides. So that's a plan. That's a plan and a mission that's under construction. I do set myself some things, don't I? So yeah, we'll see how we get on. I'm guessing this isn't going to be as easy as I thought it was, but listen, stay tuned. Okay, back to stuff. Okay, so I have finished an actual sketchbook, and I'm very pleased with myself, and I look forward to filling this one up, and again, not feeling uptight and self-conscious with that, you know, that first page moment, and to just let rip. So yeah, very pleased with the progress in there. So in conclusion, things I won't be buying again. Okay, listen, this may be controversial, but the Schminke special granulating stuff. I don't know. I'm going to have to use them a lot more, but whether I'm going to be expanding on what I own in the Schminke, I don't know. This, okay, you have to use quite a bit of it to get good granulation. And you know what? Some watercolours granulate naturally. I have these aren't particularly expensive, but you know, they're all right for my needs. The Cotman watercolours. Maybe you can spend a bit more money. Daniel Smith do nice ones. But this creates a good granulating effect. The Hordam, this G edition, they've just got some extra pigments put in that give like they leave behind a metallic effect. So there's that. If you really want that, hang on, let me show you something. I did this. And that was a mixture of the Cotman with the Hordam. And I like it, it's pretty. So it's got lots of applications, but I think to lash out and buy tons and tons of them, I don't know how much use I get out of them. This is great, and it'll turn most of what you're using into a similar effect. You can also sprinkle salt, and it'll sort of dry out parts of where you want a picture to be granulated, just to give that effect, but it's not as strong as with that or the Hordam. These are great fun, just to free up ideas about colour and mixing. They're great fun. They've been great crack. So that's everything. Thank you for joining me. Please like, please subscribe. There's loads of dead flies down here. Ew. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. Stay along for the ride. Stay cool. Have nice holidays. Have a nice summer. I want to do some ideas about creative stuff to do with kids during the summer holidays that don't cost the earth, but you can enjoy, whether you've got a garden, whether you've got a limited kitchen space. Let's see what we can come up with. Anyway, that's everything for now. Thank you for joining me. Most importantly, stay creative and come back and see me again soon. Bye for now.